Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In preparation for my own red-eye flight in September with my dad, I wanted to give you 12 tips to survive your next overnight flight in economy. Economy red-eyes can be awesome. Number one, they're the cheapest direct route to your destination. Second thing is, if you sleep on your flight, you get rid of the worst part of your entire trip right off the bat. It's like teleporting. You fall asleep right in your hometown, and then there you are in your destination, enjoying your life. That would be great. The third reason is that you get to actually enjoy the entire day in your destination without paying for a hotel room the night before. So there's lots of awesome reasons that economy is great. However, if you don't sleep, it's not so great. I mean, you can nap and it's fine, but yeah, you're gonna wanna sleep on an economy flight. Okay, so tip number one, before you even get on your flight, you're going to want to check in early as soon as possible. Typically it's about 24 hours previous to your flight. And what you're gonna wanna do is map out a spot wherever you're most comfortable. There's a couple of websites that help you with this. But I like to do a window seat, and usually I'm traveling with one other person. So what you're gonna wanna do is get the window seat and get the aisle. That way, that's kind of like reserving the whole section for you. Typically, there's not gonna be an individual that's gonna take up the middle seat. So you're going to have this whole aisle to yourself, and you can battle it out for the coveted window seat. I will say every now and then there is a person that sits in the middle, but if that's the case, they'll gladly move over just so they're not in the middle of your conversation, or, you know, people are generally pretty courteous like that. Tip number two, you're going to want to go to bed early the night before so that you can wake up early and live a full day before your flight so you're all tuckered out. My flight's not until 9:30, and that's kind of early for me to go to bed, so I'm probably gonna have to wake up around 6 so I can do all the things that I need to do, and also so I can be finally like sleepy at the end of the day and sleep on that flight. Tip number three, drink lots and lots and lots of water the day of your flight. This is because on the airplane, your air is circulated, so you're going to feel really dry and dehydrated, and you're really gonna wanna get ahead of that. You can even include drinks like Gatorade and electrolyte added water. This can just help you get like a jump start, and that way you're not gonna feel as groggy and weird when you wake up. Tip number four, eat before you get on your flight. This is kind of sad for me because I want to get my money's worth and get the dinner that they usually prepare for you if it's a little bit longer than like a 6-hour flight. However, number one, it's usually in the middle of the flight, and that's gonna wake you up. And you've worked so hard to get where you are now. So you wanna stay asleep, you wanna do all the things that you sought out to do, and that's gonna require you not waking up and eating the food. The other thing is that plain food is loaded with sodium, and again, it's gonna really dry you out, and you're not looking to get dried out. You've been drinking water all day. Don't ruin your efforts. Try not to wake up and eat that food. Piggybacking on that, drinking right before you get on your flight, or really that day, isn't recommended. You know, if a glass of wine calms you down, you know, you do you, boo. But it's not recommended because, again, it's gonna dry you out, and the whole goal of this is to wake up kind of feeling alert, aware, and excited for your trip. So just, you might not feel as great if you end up drinking that day. Tip number five, you're going to want to wash up an hour before your flight. This entails brushing your teeth, washing your face, throwing on like a hydrating sleeping mask, maybe some chapstick, maybe even like a balm to keep your hair nice and moist. This is gonna be awesome for your skin and your hair because you're going to wake up and look a lot better, but also your body is going to be triggered by the routine of it. You know, I'm doing all the things that I usually do before I go to bed, and that's gonna trick you into falling asleep. So tip number six. So this is kind of optional and it's not something that you need, but I find it's really helpful is taking a sleeping aid right before you get on the plane. I take melatonin and I find that it works really well for me. Some people find themselves more sensitive to it than others, and I think I'm pretty sensitive to it, which is convenient. It's a natural supplement that your body produces. It's just, tacking it all in so you get a little sleepier. They come in different forms. They come in chewable tablets, chocolates. You can get it as a gummy. You can even get it as a chocolate, which is my favorite because who doesn't want a little chocolate before you go to sleep? But it works really well for me, and I find taking it right before my flight, usually like about a half an hour before my flight, making sure that the flight's not delayed or anything because I don't want to be super groggy, but it does help me fall asleep when I actually get on the plane. If melatonin isn't effective for you, however, I find that diphenhydramine works for most people. It is the key ingredient in most over-the-counter sleeping aids. So ZQuil and any sort of knockoff by Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS is going to work pretty well because it's a little bit stronger. Hopefully that will kind of knock you out and also keep you knocked out, because sometimes even if we do all the steps and you fall asleep right away, it's really hard to stay asleep. So a little bit of help, you know, I don't know. As long as you don't take too much, it never hurt anybody. Tip number 7, you're going to want a really good neck pillow and a nice travel blanket. So in regards to our neck pillow, we're gonna want something that's really dense, like a dense memory foam, because that's going to keep your head up straight and comfortably, and you can kind of lean either way and you'll be comfortable. So a couple of different brands online that people really enjoy. Typically it's Cabot, where I actually have my travel blanket from. However, I find that on Amazon, the reviews for the Cabot neck pillow isn't as positive as what I'm hearing from YouTubers. So I think it's a different product that they're selling online, at least through Amazon, than what you're getting in stores. So I actually picked up something with a better review. So it's by Everlasting Comfort, and it comes in this carrying case, so you can strap this around your luggage. It was half the price of the Cabot, so that was kind of nice. I really like this one because it has that memory foam. It's really dense, and it also has a really high profile to keep your neck comfortable. Another feature that's really nice is, see this thing here, is if you tighten it, it tightens around your neck. That way, when you're sleeping, you kinda, you know, your head doesn't go all over the place, and that's, you know, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for compact comfort. But this one's really comfortable, and I do recommend this, so I will post it in the description box below if you're interested in it. The other thing I recommend to you is to bring a travel blanket, and that's because sometimes they run out of blankets, and that would be tragic for you and your sleep. So you don't want that to happen. Also, this is a little bit bigger and softer, so it will feel more comfortable falling asleep. It's really compact. I can just put it on my suitcase, which is very nice and easy, and then it is quite big. It's nice and comfortable, and it will cover my feet. It has this really cushy, warm thing to it, because sometimes they can get really cold on airplanes. So tip number 8 is to bring a good sleeping mask. And this is good because sometimes people want to read next to you, sometimes there's lights on and things going around, and it's just more calming to have it nice and evenly dark. One thing that I do suggest is to have an elastic that does have an adjustable tab, or no elastic at all and just an adjustable strap. This is because if it's just elastic, it can sometimes be too tight for your own head. The one that I have is actually this. It's super cute. It's filled with lavender, which is awesome because I find the scent of lavender really calming, and since it's right on my face, I can really smell that scent. However, other people don't have to. And I think that's kind of key with kind of calming scents and things like that. I do find scent really relaxing and can really lull me to sleep. However, I do know that other people don't find comfort in the same things that I do, and they might be sensitive to the smell. So I would just be wary of things like essential oils and things like that. And if you do choose to use them, roll-ons are really nice, and use it before you get on the plane, just to be conscious of the people around you and make sure that everyone has a nice, peaceful flight. This one I think is really nice, and I really like it because it's very soft, and it smells so good. You could either DIY this, but I did buy mine on Etsy, so if you're interested, I can post a link below. But I really do like this mask, and it's one of my favorite little luxuries that I take on the flight with me. Tip number 9, slip on some compression socks right before you're about to fall asleep. Typically, I feel like people think of these as something for older people or people that have health issues, but I feel like the average passenger can really benefit from them because they aid in circulation while you're falling asleep, and when you wake up, you don't really have that tingly feeling in your toes. You can get them really cheap on Amazon. They're just normal, like, black socks. Typically they're just kind of on the tighter side. And you can get them in different colors and different sizes and everything like that. These are really great, and I do really find a lot of benefit from them when I wake up. Tip number 10 is to put in some earplugs. And not just any earplugs, but an earplug that helps filter the air so the pressure doesn't affect your ears so much. I know that I've waken up on multiple different occasions just having to like frantically yawn to get my ears to pop because I feel the pressure building. These are really helpful to prevent that. They're called ear planes. I get mine in the child size because I have tiny ears, but these are really nice, very comfortable. They come in a tiny compact case so I can slip it really anywhere, and they're really nice and soft and squidgy. And you kind of screw it in your ear, which is kind of weird, but it does really help with your ears popping. They come in lots of different sizes. You can get them at most like stores like Walgreens and Rite Aid and CVS, but if not, Amazon has them as well. So tip number 11 is to take some sort of natural supplement to help combat this stiffness and bloatedness that you feel when you wake up after a long flight. I really like No Jet Lag because it has a combination of supplements in it, but it has arnica and chamomile and things of that nature that just help you feel like normal essentially when you wake up. It's not too expensive, and honestly I just take it right before I fall asleep and then when I wake up, so when we're taking off and then when we're landing, I find it's really helpful. So tip number 12 is kind of like tip number 5, in that when you wake up from your slumber, hopefully at your destination, you are going to brush your teeth. Disposable toothbrushes are really nice, maybe like a little face wipe. If you want to put some concealer on, maybe a little mascara, you can do that. But just waking up and doing your morning routine is really helpful. I also really like to put in eye drops because my eyes are always dry, even when I take out my contacts before I get on the flight. So putting in those eye drops not only makes my eyes feel better, but typically they take away the redness, which takes the red out of the red-eye flight. All right, guys, that's all the tips that I have for you today. I hope that they were helpful and that you will fall right to sleep when you get on your next flight. But if you found these tips at all helpful, or if you're interested in watching me and my dad go on our trip to Scotland in September, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.